Naughty, naughty, naughty little space bunny. Oh, I could give your tail such a nasty tweak.
Robert seems to be really getting to him, Baron.
Yeah, but just wait and see how he does with this challenge. He's not such a hot shot of a hero.
You want Robert to win, don't you?
Welcome back to part, what is this, 5? Yeah, part 5, I think, because this is a 6-part series in total, therefore this should be part 5, because yes, this is the penultimate episode of the, what do you call it? I guess the Jumping Flash duology, the Jumping Flash saga. You get the idea. It's just, you know, because I'm not doing the third game, I'm not doing that weird spin-off, it's just 1 and 2. So as far as I'm concerned, this is the Jumping Flash experience, kind of like with Serious Sam, where it's like first encounter, second encounter, you know? Except that even Serious Sam 1, the first encounter, is long enough to be multiple of these games. And oh boy, we're on drugs again. Yay! It doesn't actually... What does it even do? I guess it just makes you invincible. Either way, we just have to find the thing. Let's use the camera look option. Ooh, that is very handy. Can I step on this? Yes, I can. Okay. Okay, this is getting very creative here when it comes to the level assets and how they're incorporated into design. You're no longer just jumping on some regular old platforms. Not like, you know, other levels haven't done that either, but still, it feels more... there's more creative ways to get around the environment. See, like this as well. This is cool. I wonder if you can shoot that down and it would create some sort of environmental trigger. No, I doubt that's a thing you can do in this PS1 game, but, you know, maybe no. Okay, well, that's the second one down. The third one is down there. See if we can... Oh, fuck. Am I going to make that? That's going to be really tight. Yeah, okay, I made it. Okay, I made it. I'm just going to make sure to get up to this platform. So what else do I have to talk about other than what's happening right in front of me? Because that is my favorite kind of commentary. When I make these, I want it to be the kind that I would like, which isn't necessarily the best way to do things, but I don't care. Damn, I talked about this in the final episode of Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, didn't I? Also known as Mario 64 2. No. That's Pikmin, actually. Mario 128, yeah, gaming trivia, you know, you already know that. But yeah, so it's like, well, what else do I rant about that isn't necessarily to do with this game? Because as you can see, the gameplay is very, it's fundamentally simple, although it does have a lot of replay value with the way that the levels are designed, and there's the final Moo Moo. So, I don't know, maybe I can talk about, fuck it, even though it's been a few weeks now. Oh. Fuck, okay. You know, it would have been funny if I were playing a racing game, and as soon as that happened, I crashed. That would have been a total nerd cube moment. I wonder if the mic clipped when that happened. I don't know. I moved away from it, so should be fine. I moved away from the mic to sneeze. That's a reference to a popular viral internet video, Chocolate Rain by... I forgot his name. Where he says where he puts a little subtitle. It's like, I move away from the mic to breathe, because that is typically what you do when recording live vocals. As to not, I mean, you can remove that in post. Of course you can. Like, you really think that we don't breathe in between takes or like in little gaps? It's like, no shit. Like, it's just, that's called editing. But regardless. But yeah, I've got, for some reason, I still have Shadow Generations on the mind, even though it's been a few weeks since I last played it. Actually, no, I think it's only been... Damn, it came out so recently. It still feels weird to me knowing that I played it so close to its release. That never happens. Usually I play a game like 10 months after it's released, 10 years after it's released. No, I played it like the day, basically a few days after it came out. Well, I mean, actually, I think I played it a little bit before that, but, you know, I have my ways. Shut up. It actually wasn't on PC, though. Either way, you know what it is? It's the music. Okay, so the soundtrack is nice and chuggy, heavy and stuff, but I do feel that there are times when the emphasis on just heaviness kind of gets in the way of some of the compositions. I mean, it's not just heavy. There's tracks that are more electronic and stuff. It's more so a matter of, for example, Sunset Heights. Alright, I get that the general consensus of Sonic Forces soundtrack was synthesizers bad because synthesizers bad. It's just, that's how it is. You know, you can't argue with the comment section, duh. All those people, they're established, accomplished audio engineers, and they can just say that synthesizer bad. So anyway, the thing is though, the synthesizer is still in the Shadow version. In both acts, actually. It's just that it's a slightly different timbre, right? And, okay, so basically, it listens to the original, and you'll notice that it's not as heavy, sure. It's an E standard and instead of in B, I think. You know, I don't know if it's B standard or drop B, which would actually be like C sharp, but you tune the B string, whatever. But it's like it's chuggy and heavy, nice and low, right? Therefore, they actually changed the key of the song. It's in D major now instead of G, but that's irrelevant. I mean, it is very relevant, but I'm going to pretend it's irrelevant, whatever. And my problem is that it doesn't feel as cohesive production-wise. In fact, that's a common issue with a lot of modern video game music, I find. That certain things just kind of don't glue in the mix like you would want them to. I feel like I'm listening to some guitar tracks that Jun Suno recorded. I don't even know if it's Jun. It has his, like, his licks and his style when it comes to the way he plays. Absolutely, like, you know, the little like the harmonics he throws in here and there and his like weird phrasings and all that. Sure, it's probably Jun, I don't know. Or maybe it's not Jun and he just got credit for the fact that he composed some of the other tracks in the game, who knows. I mean, you can probably ask on Twitter nowadays, whatever. But the idea is that, that you listen to the original and everything has like this consistency in the sound, in the timbre, the mix, you know, everything just sounds very nicely glued. It's not like the best mix and master in the world, but it sounds quite good. In Shadow Generations, the guitars are massive. They're chugging, they're fucking huge, right? They sound really, really clean, really crisp. I mean, they're distorted, but they sound clean, you know what I mean, right? They're very well recorded, obviously. But at the same time, they sound overbearing. There's too much of the guitar in the mix. I can't believe I'm saying that. The synth almost sounds kind of buried, you know? I think maybe it's just I listen to music more holistically and I'm not so uptight about certain things. Because for a specific and sometimes frustratingly picky I am with video game stuff, when it comes to music, I'm quite open-minded for the most part. It's why I love video game music so much, because it's very varied. There's a lot of different styles, a lot of different things going on in the music, and so I have to like all of it, and I do, you know? I like what this game does, even though it's not metal or whatever. Even though, again, the Ice World from Jumping Flash 1 did have that absolute fucking... was there going to be... No, there's no cutscene, of course. Did have that absolutely insane piano riff, which sounds more like a metal riff, and it's great. But anyway, and so it's just to do with the, the production. It's not even so... Actually, it's not even a production problem. It's just a mix and master thing. They really could have just tweaked the way the guitar sits in the mix for everything to make more sense, right? It just sounds so much like... It sounds like one of those YouTube metal... Oh my god, he regens. Oh, and I don't regen. That's going to be a problem. Well, it's not really going to be a problem. But, you know, it's... Oh, fuck, it's going to be frustrating because it just means it's going to take longer. So how do I do this? How do I stop him from regenning, right? Have they started to actually try and make the bosses a little more elaborate, a little more challenging? Or, wait, is he just going to... What's he going to do? Wait, why is he not regenning now? He's dead. So does he only do it once? Whatever. So basically what I was talking about with the music, it's not a overarching problem. It's just something to do with the mix and the master, which could probably be fixed, but they're not going to fix it, of course. It's just music. I think we're going to get another cutscene.
Now you've done it, you rapscallion rabbit! I'll make you into a dust bunny! Dust bunny!
Okay, that was actually pretty fucking funny. I love the way the voice actor almost sounded like they weren't sure about their line. I'm sure that was directed. That was probably intentional. And the freaking clapping, like the canned applause in the background, like it's like as if it's in front of a live audience. Oh my god, that is comedy gold. This game's... I don't know if that was completely intentional. No, of course it was intentional. It's just that sometimes the hilarity of cutscenes from this time are just because of, you know, translations or something like that, like just the way that they were directed for a different audience. But here it's like, that is really funny to me, you know? And like more of the, I acknowledge that it's fun. I didn't laugh at all. Like I didn't. I'm gonna mute my microphone for that part. That part anyway. But I wouldn't have to. I didn't laugh at all. But I find it funny. You know, I just look at it and think, yes, that is humorous. And there's value to that kind of comedy as well. It's not to say if it doesn't make you physically burst out laughing, that means it's not funny. No, there's plenty of hilarious things which I don't react to in the slightest. You know. Very few things actually make me fully just straight up laugh, right? And it's probably because I am very self-conscious about things. So yeah, enough talking about my very specific complaints regarding Shadow Generation soundtrack. Sometimes the guitars sit great though, like Radical Highway on the Hub World. Radical Highway's white space version is just, it's massive, and it has this like orchestra in the back. Oh, I don't know if it's a full orchestra, but there's like the string section and these just extra textures. That sounds amazing, right? It sounds huge. And there's really, I have no complaints as far as how the guitars sit. Of course, the pufferfish would damage you. Let's see if I can find the final one. This is a very odd theme for a level in this game, actually. Like a factory. It's obviously not like some Kingpin type shit where it's like dilapidated and run down. No, it's not quite as colorful as what the game would typically do. Oh man, it kind of gives me like some slight Oil Ocean vibes, you know, Sonic Oil Ocean. You know what? We haven't done a bonus stage in a while. Let's just go oh, can you pick that up? Let's find out. Can you pick that up? Is that like actually a pickup in the game? Because that looks like a pickup. It's... I should have guessed. That's literally geometry. That actually just exists in the level. Why am I not surprised? Yeah, of course. Oh, now we're in some oil. Let's hope it doesn't fuck up the robot. But yeah, it's so funny. Dust Bunny. But like the way he kind of paused a little bit before that. It's fantastic. Let's see what this bonus stage has to offer. Oh my god, there's so much shit. Okay. Shoot the thing. Shoot the thing. There you go. So, future Let's Plays, what have I been planning? Well, I realized something. I'm gonna run out of games to play if I keep just hiding in my shell of what I enjoy. Now, granted, the games I enjoy are plentiful. There's tons of 3D and 2D platformers and, you know, shooters, and also racing games, even though, like, again, I don't really Let's Play racing games, although I totally do them for a focus on B, absolutely. You know, it's not a whole series. But I decided, screw it, I'm going to play some games that I don't really play all that often. So, first I think, okay, what do I not really fundamentally enjoy, but I feel like it has elements of something that I like? Explorative platformers, also known as Metroidvanias, despite the fact that, actually, Castlevania started out as a totally linear arcade-type experience. It wasn't until Symphony of the Night, but whatever. And we're going to fail this, aren't we? Unless those are the last two. Fuck you, too slow. Your brain is too slow. Anyway, don't get insensitive now. But yeah, and I've looked up this game on Moby Games. I didn't look it up. I found it. It's called Animal Well. It seems to be this weird combination of like a little bit of Ori, a little bit of Celeste. It's ridiculously small somehow. It's only 40 megs. Like, how? I get that it's pixel art, so clearly the visual assets don't take up too much space, but what about the music? Is it all sequenced? Is there just no music or something? I don't know. I don't know much about the game other than the kind of game that it is and a little bit of gameplay I looked up, which I muted on purpose because I wanted, you know, I want to like have my reactions to the sound design be a little more genuine. I'm guessing this, yep, this goes up. Pill. I think this, no, okay, the pill does not help you see where the exit is, which is very fitting. But yeah, and so I'm probably going to do it because, yes, it's a Metroidvania, and I don't really like those, but I have to break out, you know, I have to like be able to enjoy those kind of games too, at least to some extent, just for the sake of being able to let's play them, because it's like, I can't just keep playing these same kinds of games. And I don't want to focus too much on a single franchise, a single series. Ah, thank God, one of these. That's what makes this useful. Not necessarily the, like the fact that it stops time, that's pretty much pointless. It's the fact that it shows you where to go. That's great. But really, so if I don't do that, I won't be able to sustain this series, to be perfectly honest, unless I completely focus on B, because that's when I don't have to commit to anything too much. So it's way easier to pick a game for that series, because I'll just do one episode of it, whatever. I'll just do like, I'm guessing it's over there, but how do I get over there? See, that's where you got to use your noggin a little bit. Well, that's not gonna work. All right, reset. Maybe I have to jump all the way over here. Have I even visited this section of the level before? I'm not sure. We're gonna find out right now. There's also this other game that I've been looking into called Shadowgrounds, which is actually a PC exclusive, which is something I do often, despite being a PC guy. And it's to do, well, it's just because that's my idea of how you play video games, regardless of what it was actually released on, whatever. And so that game is like this, it's this weird, on the box art it's described as Doom Free meets Smash TV, I think. So basically it's a top down, well, not really fully top down, but it's like it's at an angle, but it's like a top down mouse driven twin stick shooter, but well, it's not twin stick, it's a mouse shooter, of course, because you use the mouse, with like these really with this very elaborate, very complex lighting engine. You know, that's why it says Doom Free mixed with Smash TV, right? And I don't know, I actually think that the top-down or overhead sort of perspective is kind of underutilized in more contemporary gaming. Now, that's not a contemporary game. It came out in 2005. But what I mean is, it really does suck that, I mean, apart from maybe Hotline Miami, I can't think of many other games released as of late that, you know, use that kind of perspective. Okay, there are plenty. It's just that I'm talking noteworthy stuff, and to be fair, I guess Shadowgrounds isn't exactly a noteworthy game. It received a sequel, right? So clearly it wasn't like a flop or anything, but at the same time, what the fuck am I supposed to do, really? Where have they put that bastard? Is he over there? No, that's a mosquito. Okay, well, the mini-map was telling me to go over here, but that's just a pufferfish. Don't tell me I'm gonna have to break out a guide for Jumping Flash 2. Come on. There's no way, right? Like, this is going to be the end of, I mean, the next few levels, obviously, because I have to complete this world. That's going to be the end of the episode, and I've already been recording for 17 minutes, but it's like, come on, man. There's no way that it's that well hidden. This is Jumping Flash, not, oh, fuck, there it is. Okay, cool. So I guess I just have to ride this thing until we get there. So let's just step on it, and quite literally, step on it. There you go. Oh, wait, shit, now I'm too far away, right? Come on. Oh, we're gonna make it, we're gonna make it. There you go. Dunk, and the game, actually realized the game got a little quiet there because Duck Station has two separate volumes for when you're playing the game normal and when you're speeding up. I'm gonna assume that is a Quake-free boost pad before Quake-free. Yep. Wee. Oh, wait, no, hold on, I'm sorry. That's a man cannon from Halo. Okay, so I was watching Random Encounter, that GameSpot show from years ago, because it's amazing. And on the Quake Free episode, they talked about how, you know, they implemented like these man cannons in Halo, pretending that there's something new when they're really not, because they were already in Quake Free and also Unreal Tournament. And I find that quite funny because they're in this game too, which came out even, you know, prior to that, like it was 1996. This is before Quake. This came out before Quake, I'm pretty sure, or at least very close around the same time. I mean, Quake was already, it had some of its like earlier builds released at that point, because, you know, id Software, they like to do that, where they'll release like a there's like these 1995 builds, I think, of Quake. So, you know, technically that game was kind of in a way around, and ooh, we got another one of the Doom levels. Speaking of id Software, what is this? It's like this, it looks like the inside of a submarine, except that it's way bigger than that. Okay, I don't really need this. What are that? Oh, power orbs. I'm guessing that's just yeah. It's one of those screen area type effect weapons. So what the hell are these enemies anyway? Like, really. Whatever. Let's get some drugs. And do you go faster? No. I think the only bonus is the fact that you're invincible, except that enemies barely hurt you in this game anyway. Like, you're never gonna die from an enemy in this game. You're gonna die from, you know, falling off a bottomless pit, sure. But you're never gonna get killed by an enemy in jumping fly. I mean, that's generally how most 3D platformers are like anyway. That they don't have too much of an emphasis on combat. You're never gonna get killed by the enemies, right? Like when I was a kid and played Sonic Adventure DX or something on PC, you know how many times I actually saw the death animation for when you don't have rings? I don't know, probably like once maybe, because it never happens. You always die from the pits. That's what gets you. And same thing here. Hold on, does that mean that no? That one is not accessible. What about this one? That one's also not accessible. Okay, because I was worried that maybe I'd be missing something on this level, but I guess we're not. So we're just going to take this elevator, turn around automatically, because of course. And so what also am I planning to play? Max Payne, but not the PC version, which it's very readily available, very easy to obtain. No, actually, I want to play the PS2 version for two reasons. One, because the PC version has just a boatload of issues that annoy me with... and the cutscenes and sounds and just whatever. It's annoying and I don't want to have to set it up. And also because, I mean, come on, what are the odds that someone's Let's Played that version? I mean, okay, sure enough, someone has. Like, for example, how Rune, right? You know, Rune, this PC game from 2000, it also got a PS2 release called Rune Viking Warlord in 2001 for the PS2, which is a slightly altered version of the game. It's pretty much the same game, but you know, some extra loading here and there because PS2, of course. Some missing levels altogether, although I found the game to be a way smoother experience, personally, after playing through it. Honestly, I think I'd rather play that version, because I played the PC version, and I had no fucking idea where to go. So maybe they picked the more streamlined levels, or they streamlined the levels that were already there. I don't know. Point is, I actually enjoyed myself the second time, you know, in the PS2 version, which was supposed to be the shitty one. So, you know, take that as you will. But anyway... So as I was saying, clearly, then that if there's a Let's Play of that out there, that I admittedly did use a little bit of as a guide for this one section because I wasn't super sure where to go, but it's fine. It was just one part of the game. If that exists, then clearly there's got to be a PS2 or Xbox, you know, Max Payne playthrough. Absolutely. Oh, of course we got to go through here. Absolutely, that exists, but you know, it's not going to be as common as the PC version, right? Everyone's fucking done the PC version. And I don't know, it's interesting to witness, like, ports of PC games from that time being appropriated to console, because, in a way, they're already pretty fit for it. I mean, it's fun that, like, the 6th generation was around that time when games stopped differing that much between platforms, you know? Because, like, at this time, if this game had gotten a PC release, well, for one, it would have had mouse and keyboard, which would have been sick, but I imagine it would have looked very different. Or maybe not, actually, because this was, again, pre-Quake. It probably would have been on DOS. Maybe it would have used, like, the build engine or something. It would have been real janky. I don't know. But the idea is that games were very different, right? I mean, not like... It wasn't a massive difference between them. It was just a matter of, like, you know, just certain qualities. But at times, they were also totally different games. Like the Need for Speed games from the time. It's like, oh, wow, it's like a completely different driving engine. Totally different experience, right? Then you have stuff like Croc, which is... the exact same. What other piece? Oh, Tomb Raider. Yeah, it's the exact same. You know. But what other examples are there? Oh, Forsaken, right? That game's completely different. Well, I mean, it's not completely different. On PS1, it is the same game. It's just that it plays a little bit differently. The controls, you can tell it's using a slightly different like model for the way that the character handles, right, compared to the PC version. And in fact, the N64 version, despite having the different levels, that one's actually much closer to the original PC version. So I guess it's kind of like a middle ground kind of thing. And you know what? Here's something I've realized when it comes to that generation of gaming. It's just that, like, I think more people need to start using the approach of... No, that's not how you fucking phrase it. But more people need to start looking at that generation as two generations, all right? Because... I don't know, I find it hard to consider the PS1 and the Saturn to be a part of the same generation as, yeah, Boss, whatever, we beat them, that's easy. To be part of the same generation as the Dreamcast and N64. They were just so different, technically, right? And I've been corrected on my Tony Hawk video about the whole 32-bit, 64-bit, whatever. It's not about the bits. It's just the way that the games look. Look at this. You can tell this is a PS1 game just from the lighting, the characters, the textures. It's so PS1. I think we're gonna get a series of textures. Yes, a cutscene. Said cutscene that you will not see because this is the end of the episode. And I'm gonna see you guys in part 6. That'll be pretty much the finale of the Jumping Flash duology, the Jumping Flash saga, I guess you want to call it. There's more games, but we're not playing those. We're just playing Jumping Flash 1 and 2. That is the complete experience in my head. So I'm going to see you guys in part 6, the finale.